Today we will be using a dog in representation of the techniques used to train an RDA horse. Ammo is a 4-year-old neutered purebred Weimaraner that has major issues in hyperactivity and focus. A dog is a different species to a horse, and therefore instead of his flight response, we will focus more on reducing his fight response through our training methods. We will shape him to be focused on the trainer and ignore any sudden sounds or movements, and being calm and composed. We attempted to habituate Ammo to the head collar by counter-conditioning, which involves an aversive stimulus as a classically conditioned predictor of a pleasant event. The aversive stimulus is the head collar and the restraint and pressure from wearing it, and the pleasant stimulus are the dog treats. We had to force Ammo to touch the head collar at first before he began to associate the head collar with the treat. At first, Ammo would often resist or avoid the head collar, as demonstrated by him moving his head away from it. We didn't want to flood him so intensely expose Ammo to the aversive stimulus, as this could make him fearful to the stimulus or sensitize him, which would make training harder. It is important to avoid and dissociate the fight or flight response. He slightly resists the head collar, but once he is rewarded, he is more compliant and appears to be less bothered by it, demonstrating his altered, now more positive perception of the head collar.
Come here. Sit. I can't hurt you. Quick when I let him go, as a reaction. Good boy. Keep me doing it, just to see what he does.
Initially, Ammo reacts very negatively to being led in a circle, as he is still very new to the idea that the head collar now means something positive. When he exhibited the undesirable behaviour, we forced him to sit and start again so that his fight or flight response was not activated too intensely. Eventually, he became lighter on the lead and able to walk quite comfortably beside Monica with the head collar in position. This is a perfect example of positive reinforcement, which is the addition of a positive stimulus, the treat, after his expression of the positive behaviour, walking calmly with the head collar on. Using the teddy bear, the concept of overshadowing took place. Even though the animals were not an aversive stimuli Ammo needed to be habituated to, they were a desired stimuli he needed to learn to ignore. We accomplished this process by positively reinforcing him each time he left the animal alone, and moving the animal closer once he paid no attention to it. He's getting it. Once Ammo was used to it touching him, we gradually placed it on his back and rubbed him with it to habituate him to something on his back. Finally, after he completely ignored the presence of the stationary rabbit, we began to have it jump around and move on him to signify a disabled child bouncing around on a horse's back. Once he was habituated to the moving rabbit while he was stationary, we encouraged him to walk around with the rabbit still bouncing on his back. Once noises were presented, he reverted back to his original behaviour, presenting us with what would be his next step in the training. In this exercise, we are training Ammo to disregard any sort of loud and sudden noises that may occur. We used overshadowing in an attempt to habituate Ammo to any loud noises. In the first attempt, he reacts quite strongly to the sudden sound. After the second and third attempt, he is almost completely habituated to the sound and focused on the task at hand, which is continuing to walk controlled in a circle.